Context switching is the mechanism used by your OS to run multiple processes on a single CPU core, giving the illusion that all of them are running at the same time. Let's understand the problem statement first. A CPU core can only execute one process at a time, and it is a hardware level constraint as the CPU only has one program counter, one set of registers, and one execution pipeline. But if you open your task manager right now, you will probably see at least dozens of different processes running. Your browser with multiple tabs, an editor, different apps like your music app, your AI app, code editor, etc. So, how is this happening? OS rapidly switches between processes so fast that it feels like everything is running together. The switching mechanism is called a context switch. Let's understand what we mean by context. The context is everything the CPU needs to resume a process exactly where it left off. That includes the program counter, which stores the address of the next instruction to execute. Next is the CPU register. These are general purpose registers, the stack pointer, and the status flags. It includes the memory map that contain mapping between virtual address to physical pages and process state like whether the process is running, waiting, or ready. All of this data gets packaged into a data structure called the process control block PCB. Every process has exactly one PCB. It lives in kernel memory, which means your process cannot touch it directly, only the kernel can. When the OS switches away from a process, it saves everything into the PCB. When that process is switched back, its PCB is used to restore the context. So, PCB is like a bookmark that lets you resume exactly from where you left off. Let's walk through what actually happens during a context switch step by step. Step 1 is trigger. A trigger arrives. This could be a timer interrupt, like when current process used its complete time slice, or it could be a IO block, the process called read method and is now waiting on the disk, or a higher priority task arrived in the ready queue. Step 2 is saving the context. CPU saves the context of the current process into its PCB. Step 3 is OS scheduler picks the next process to run. Step 4 is loading the context. CPU loads the context of the next process using its PCB. Step 5 is execution resumes from where that process left off. Context switching looks pretty useful as it lets your system runs multiple processes at the same time. But it's not free. There are some costs that your system needs to pay for every context switch. Saving and restoring the context requires actual CPU cycles, and that's the time the CPU is spending on bookkeeping, not on running your application code. Second, and more significant, is TLB flush. TLB stands for Translation Look Aside Buffer, and it is the CPU's cache for virtual to physical address translation. When you switch to a different process, this virtual to physical address mapping gets completely invalidated, and this cache needs to be invalidated. The new process starts with a fresh TLB, which means every memory access triggers a full page table lookup until the TLB stores the mapping. The third cost is CPU cache pollutions. Your L1 and L2 caches are full of data from older processes, which leads to higher cache miss rates and more trips to RAM. And finally, all the kernel side overhead, like running the scheduler, loading the PCB, reloading the memory maps, etc. All this adds to the cost. Here are the key points that we discussed in today's video. Context is the complete snapshot of a process execution state, and context switching enables OS to give the illusion of running multiple processes simultaneously. We understood how context switching happens step by step. Context switching has real cost: CPU cycle, TLB invalidation, CPU cache pollution, kernel cost, etc. That's it for today's video. I hope you could get a fair understanding of context switching, how the OS juggle multiple processes on a single CPU. If yes, then please do like this video, comment down if you have any questions, or if you want me to cover any other topic. Subscribe for more such content. See you in the next one.